everyone, Kat here with a new tale from my favorite ghost Pokemon, Spiritomb. In this story, one of Spiritomb's 108 spirits is actually not dead yet. His name is Indigo, and he's been tracking shiny Pokemon for his fellow spirits, hoping to uncover more of their history. But this time, he also might be setting up Sinnoh for the future, when he runs into a shiny Monferno. Let's see what happens. Indigo of the Pearl Clan was sick and tired of, well, pretty much everything. Of tracking down whatever Pokemon someone told him to, of nearly getting mauled by angry alphas. But more than anything, he was sick of hearing 107 creepy wisp voices. If he had his way about things, no one would ever mention Spiritomb or that creepy Lady Vessa ever again. So tonight, when he woke up disoriented in the middle of the Coronet Highlands, he did not look to the wisps for where he should head next. Instead, he took off running for home. He had no idea what he'd do when he got there, but it was where he wanted to go and no one would dissuade him. Whoa, where are you running off to? Asked yet another voice in his head, a nervous, middle-aged man from the sound of it. Indigo didn't reply. The road was opening up now. He still saw some angry alphas here and there, but as long as he didn't engage them and kept far enough out of sight, they didn't see him as worth chasing down. Hey, I get it. We weren't talking to you before, and now we are talking to you, all the time. It's a lot, but please don't shut us out, okay? Indigo kept going. The voice tried again. My name's Lino, by the way. If the spirit thought introducing himself would slow Indigo down, he was wrong. What did slow him down, however, was shifting too much of his focus to the voice and away from the road. He soon found himself surrounded by a group of less than pleased Monferno. Great, just what I need, he thought. And despite several attempts to dodge and weave away, the Pokemon weren't having it. This species was always eager to test their strength, and the past few decades had shown them that humans were perfect for exactly that. A human running through here without so much as a challenge was, in their minds, just plain rude. I'll let Vaporeon make quick work of them, then call Windier to get out of here, Indigo thought. But when he called the evolution out, he noticed something slightly different about their fiery opponent. Wait, why is it pink? Indigo asked, even though he already had a pretty good idea. He addressed Lino. Did you make it look like that? Kinda, yeah. Is pink bad? I think it's a nice color, and that Monferno reminded me of my old partner, and he was also very nice, so... Pink is fine, Indigo snapped, which wasn't like him at all. He knew the stress was getting to him, but he didn't realize how much until he heard his own sharp voice echo off the trees. If this Pokemon was special to one of his fellow spirits, he should catch it rather than knock it out. They'd do the same for him if they could. But Vaporeon was bulky and powerful with a huge type advantage. A knockout was inevitable. Unless just throwing a ball would work? Indigo gave it a shot, and no, it most decidedly did not work. Monferno growled at the insulting attempt. It was kind of scary. You had a fierce Pokemon like this? Indigo asked, surprised. He felt a tinge of warmth, like the psychic equivalent of a nod run through him. Monferno was so eager to rush into things, Lino said. I always wanted to hold back and be cautious. Between the two of us, I guess you could say we were the perfect balance. A balance, Indigo thought, like water and fire. He watched as Vaporeon patiently kept Monferno at bay, taking the hits, growling and spitting water near but not on his opponent, giving Indigo more chances to throw with the Pokeball again. He tried and failed, but this time, it felt worth trying again. I was pretty lucky, Lino said. My family was friendly with our local Pokemon, and 3 of them were willing to partner up with me. My parents let me choose for myself which it would be. I wanted someone who wouldn't always agree with me. Then they could cover my weak spots, and hopefully I could help cover theirs. Indigo considered this as he continued his throws. He'd heard of a young woman who'd come to Hisui seemingly out of nowhere, 5, maybe 10 years after his grandfather had done the same. Supposedly, she'd also been given 3 Pokemon to choose from as a partner, after she displayed some competency with catching them. Of course, they'd been Pokemon that the late Professor Laventon had brought with him from his travels. Not nearly common enough to offer them to every young person aspiring to work with these creatures. But their typings made him think of the battle in front of him. Fire, water, and then grass. No one with an obvious advantage in battle, each a perfect balance for the others. Maybe your village could do something like that, Lino went on. Not all the time, but once in a while, you know? Maybe, Indigo agreed, as he continued throwing Pokeballs with no success. His body was falling into a rhythm now. If outbreaks like these were anything to go by, perhaps populations were growing large enough that Hisui could begin to make these starter Pokemon available, at least to anyone who showed enough promise. At last, one of the balls connected and held. Indigo sucked in a breath as he watched it shake. 2, 3, 4 times. Then the spark of success from the top of the ball. I guess I can find a balance too, he thought as he stepped forward. I don't have to push myself so much, but I shouldn't give up on my goals either. He smiled as he picked up the ball. Starter Pokemon, huh? He'd have to mention it next time he stopped by the Galaxy Team headquarters. But for now, he was content. That's all for this story. The next one will be up in a week, and it'll be focused on Shiny Kricketune. Thanks for listening, and until next time, happy reading and happy training.